Hi guys, welcome to another video. I am happy 2 days before Christmas. Or happy day, or night, or morning, or happy, happy. Today I'm doing Bloom inspired makeup, which I think might be difficult because there's like orange and blue are incredibly prevalent colors. So she has orange hair and blue is like her main outfit color, and so they're opposite sides of the color wheel, so that might be bad. So I worry. So I'm gonna just do this and talk about Bloom. Should I turn up the lighting a little bit? No! That's better. But guess what will help more? Haha! You can see it a little bit. Got a little butterfly clip because I figured we'd be, I don't know, accurate. So Bloom is the first character we meet ever in the show. The show starts with her, and the reboot will probably also start with her. She is an orphan fairy who grew up on Earth and meets last episode's lovely Stella and travels to Alfea and finds out about being a fairy. And that's just the beginning. Because, oh boy, she has a lot of problems after that. But when she meets Stella and finds out about the magical world, shortly after, she meets this lovely guy who's calling himself Brandon. Later, we will know that they swapped names and his name is actually Sky. But for the time being, she believes he's Brandon. Which is ding number one in that I have issues with Sky. Like, meter? Checkboard. I hate many things about this man. For one, he is somewhat misogynistic. Would you be like, oh, this is a kid's show for girls? You wouldn't think that'd be a thing. You know what? I'm just gonna do my best on this side. I'm gonna have to redo it later after I put on the eyeshadow. So this is just like what I'm gonna be tracing later. So it's fine that it's bad. So Bloom is our main girl. Is incredibly nice, hot-tempered, very, fish out of water, stranger in a strange land. If you're under 18, maybe don't read that book. I have not read that book, but I have watched an overly sarcastic video summarizing the plot of that book, and so I don't feel the need to watch the book. Watch the book. Oh, read the book. Because I don't want to. I have no further explanation other than nope, not for me. To start off with, Bloom's main, like, 3 colors are orange, blue, and pink. So I think I'm going to stick the orange and blue on my eyelids and do pink lip. So how about we start with lip and go from there. Do I want to use a gloss or a stick? I have this sparkly pink, which I think works pretty well, so I'm going to be using it on my lips. So, everyone knows how lip gloss works, right? This. And then I have a really sharp Cupid's bow, like 90-degree corner sharp. And so I need to look in a mirror when I'm putting it on so I don't have it go over my lips. It still went over them a little bit, but it's fine. Bloom, I think, in my opinion, it is kind of sad that the show got bought by Nickelodeon, because I feel like some of the characters and characterizations are lost in the rebooted version of the show. And it's not rebooted technically, but it is restarted. And because of that, I think a lot of characterization gets lost in the scuffle. That's better. Add some eyeshadow and we make it shinier and better, more accurate color. Thank you to this palette. Big mirror. That's nice. Not many nice things to say about the person though. Bloom is hot-headed, and that is kind of lost. She tries to be very independent and stuff, and will like admit when she needs help, but she will try and go it alone because she has a lot of guilt for putting her friends into the situations they end up in, which, good. Bloom, you're doing a lot. I don't want to use that one. So it is good that you feel a form of guilt for doing that. Because, like, the winx are very lax, but she is putting them in life or death situations. Is that a good orange? I don't know. Let's try with my finger. Maybe. Never used this one. Well, it's more metallic-y. I could use it for the Christmas one. Okay, I think I want to use that orange. But let's take a look at other oranges in here. I think I like the first orange we looked at more. I'll probably use the blue from there. Because there are no blues in this one. For whatever reason. So Bloom is kind of has all that taken away when the show moves over to Nickelodeon, which is very sad, because I thoroughly enjoyed her characterization in the first few seasons, but it kind of gets, like, taken away from her, like, fully, for no reason. Just maybe because it's less complicated for kids, but this is a show for young girls. Young girls should be able to learn that they are allowed to have feelings not be, like, called names for that. I think that's heavily a problem, because a lot of, like, there's a lot of bull about, hubbub about how you act and behave, and how you're greatly treated differently from your male counterparts. Like, when a woman thinks through her actions, she's calculated, and that's seen as a bad thing, and I don't think that's how it should be seen. In my opinion, I think characters like Bloom are important to show girls that they can stand up for what they believe in, and if someone tries to tell them no, they're allowed to be upset about that. Like, and so when Nickelodeon bought it and decided to ignore that part of Bloom's characterization, I think it made a lot of people upset with, and that kind of took away something people really liked about Bloom, which was her also independence. She, in the first few seasons, never was like, Winx, come with me, let's go do a dangerous thing. She would sneak off on her own, and the Winx would find out and come and help her. She never was like, you have to join. She was always like, I don't want anyone to get hurt, and so I am gonna do my own thing. Which takes a lot of flack off of Bloom, because she gets a lot of crap from fans for, like, kind of forcing the Winx into stuff, which is an incredibly fair complaint to have, but that's because they took that part of her characterization out when the show was bought by Nickelodeon. Like, she would have been more complex, but the show is expensive. Animation is expensive. And so obviously, they had to make some concessions to be bought. But that's just my complaints about that. But Bloom is, she has a lot of trauma that is not really addressed by anyone ever. Like, she's the sole survivor of her planet's destruction. She has, like, gone through so much, and I think it's constantly ignored by a lot of people, by everyone, even, like, fans, what she went through. Well, that blue's really good. Let's take a look at other ones before we make our decision, though. This is up there, though. Like, what all she's been through, because it's kind of easy to, like, no one wants to say the shitty part out loud, which is Bloom is probably the most traumatized character on the show. Because then you have to admit that you can't deal with complex female characters. And no one wants to say that, even though that's the truth for a lot of people. Why is this color like a brown? Okay. Oh, those are pretty. I'm getting distracted by swatching. Oh, they're so pretty. arms are gonna be rainbow after this. I'm excited. But she survived the genocide and she was a baby, and I think, Superman and her are not that affected because they don't remember a life with these people. They're, mourn for the life opportunities they lost, but they're not oh, I'm so sad. They're what would my life have been like if that didn't happen? Which is a fair thought. I feel like a lot of people who come from broken homes or have a parent who is dead or left, all have that thought of what would it have been like if they didn't die, if they didn't leave, if they weren't shit people. I don't know. And so there is that. Alongside that is Bloom was groomed by her teacher in season 2. Fully. And everyone just brushes over it. But that is so traumatizing. Oh yeah, I trusted this teacher. And the reason she was groomed is because she was perfectly a lamb brought to the slaughter by everyone because no one was telling her her identity. And then this teacher showed up and was I'll tell you about your family and stuff. I know all these things. And since he was the only one who was helping her, she obviously was oh, this is great. But that's because people who were friends with her parents, her headmistress of the school, were really, there are 3 schools in Winx. The Winx world. Althea is where our titular Winx attend. Cloud Tower is where the witches are, and the specialists go to Red Fountain. And so and all 3 of the principals, the headmasters and headmistresses of those schools, were friends with Bloom's parents. They knew them. They were friends. And they just don't, their friend's child who they thought they were never gonna see again, the child of their friends who is dead and they didn't think they'd see again, they just don't talk to or explain anything to them for no reason other than, to protect them. You know there are people out there who destroyed Bloom's home planet and will probably try to destroy her because of her power, and you're just not telling Bloom anything? What plan was that? A stupid one. I'll tell you that much. Because they were hurting her more than anything. And if I was Bloom's parents, when I came back alive and found out that all of my friend's behavior had led to my daughter being abused and manipulated, I would be upset. I would refuse to talk to those people. They were kind of complicit in what happened to Bloom. Not that they're, to blame or anything. I truly believe the teacher who did the villain of season 2 who did what they did is fully to blame. But that should not be used to be like, the teachers didn't do something wrong. I'm sorry. You know Bloom is in danger because of her power set. You need to tell her what exactly is going on. And, like, who, like, about her parents and stuff. Because if not, she will go to people who might hurt her. She might get hurt, and it is all their fault, in my opinion. Now, I am not an expert on any of these things. I am just, like, loudly stating my opinion, but it annoys me. And, like, of course Bloom wasn't listening to them. They were like, hey, stop hanging out with this person who's teaching you about your family. We won't teach you about them at all. But you can't talk to this person. If I was Bloom, I'd be upset. I'd quit that school. I'm sorry. Cloud Tower was so much nicer to Bloom. And you're trying to tell me they're the evil school? No. Nuh-uh. They're not evil. They're truthful. And honest. And guess what this school isn't? Any of those things. This one's a little sick, but we're ignoring it. We're not ignoring it. I don't like that. Come on. I'm gonna put on. But yeah, Bloom is hurt by everyone. In the show, by show writers. Like, I would honestly not put up with these people anymore. Like, I know she fully, like, loves being a fairy, but there is a point in which, like, you shouldn't take it anymore. So yeah, this was my somewhat rant about Bloom's mistreatment. Not really scripted, just going off the dome. And my attempt at Bloom-inspired makeup. Yeah, tomorrow is Flora's, and then I might do a Christmas one, or I might take the day off. I do not know. You will see day of. Okay, bye. Love you. Not love you. Not trying to start a parasocial thing. Don't want that. So bye. Like and subscribe. I forgot about that. Like and subscribe. Bye.